I could have pretty much bought a Birkin for the price of all these bag charms. Hi guys, my name is G.P.S. and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see, there is a different couch behind me because we have finally moved, so we'll have a different background moving forward. But if the camera angle and the lighting is a little off, I apologize. It's because you guys are literally sitting on top of a coffee machine and I don't have my ring light yet. But still, I wanted to upload a video. I didn't want to leave you guys without a video this coming Thursday. Or is it Sunday? Whichever day it's going off on. I didn't want to leave you guys without a video. So today I thought that I would share with you every single bag charm that I have in my collection, which is definitely a little bit more extensive than I would want it to be. And I know I always say this, but I do find that bag charms are a really kind of easy way to almost waste money. Because let me tell you from experience that you do not need 20 different bag charms in different colors and sizes, because after a while they all just start looking the same. So learn from my mistakes. You definitely do not need as many as I have. But I had a period when I was really into bag charms and I probably buy more in the future, but I promise you I'll be more careful. And it's a promise to you as well as a promise to myself. And the majority of my collection is Hermes Rodeos. As you guys know, I have a couple of different videos on my Rodeo bag charms. I have a video showing my entire collection, but it's a little bit of an older video and I wasn't really happy with it. So I thought that I would also show you briefly every single Hermes Rodeo that I have in my collection, as well as a couple of new additions that were not in that video, and obviously other bag charms, not just Rodeo bag charms in this video. But if you guys love bag charms and they are your thing, then by all means go for it, and you will really enjoy this video then. So without further ado, let's go and have a look at every single bag charm from my collection from Hermes. Let's start with my Hermes Rodeos, because as I mentioned, the majority of my collection consists of the Rodeo bag charms. And I do have several videos on these. I have an older video where I showed you my entire collection, and there have been, I want to say, 2 pieces added to my collection since then. And I do have a more recent video where I show you guys how I style them and comparing the different sizes and prices. So if you're interested in how I style my Rodeos or how I would recommend that you go about wearing these, then I'll make sure to link that video down below as well as up here in a little card. But let's run through quickly my Rodeos and share with you guys every single piece that I have in my collection. So there are, I want to say, how many Rodeos do I have here?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6 Rodeos here. And then there are 2 more Rodeos that I actually accidentally put in storage in New York when we were moving. I put a lot of my things in storage that I don't wear on a regular basis. So 2 Rodeos were actually put into storage, and they are my newer Rodeos. So I'll make sure to put pictures of them on the screen when I talk about them. And also I think I have a video on at least one of them. So I'll make sure to also link that video down below. But let's talk about the 6 that I have here. Let's start with my Rodeos in size MM, because I find that this size is the perfect size if you're just starting your collection. And I do really enjoy these on most of my bags. And I have 4 of them here, and if you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I mainly collect solid color Rodeos. I actually had a look at my collection and I realized that I do have one tricolored Rodeo, which we'll get onto later on, but my collection mainly consists of solid colored Rodeos, which are a little bit more rare. So I have one in the color Capucine, which is like this beautiful corally red orangey color. I do really like this on more neutral bags to add a pop of color. And as I mentioned, this is in size MM. I have one in Vert Cypress, which is probably one of my most used Rodeos. I was looking for the So Black Rodeo, which is essentially a Rodeo in all black, which I'll definitely show you guys a few of. When I was looking for that, it was almost impossible to get. I really wanted to get one, and my essay was really trying, but they were discontinued for a long period of time. And I actually almost bought it on eBay for, I think, almost $4,000. But when this arrived, in the pictures, I could really not tell that it wasn't black, and my essay told me that even in person, unless you see it in natural light, it does look really dark. But it's actually not black, it's in the color Vert Cypress, and it's the darkest solid color Rodeo that exists other than obviously the black one. But I do find that this can look a little bit off or almost washed out if you wear this on a black bag, because if you put this on a lighter colored bag, you can really barely see that it's not black because it's such a deep dark shade of green. But if you put it against a black piece of leather, you will be able to see the difference. So now I mainly wear this on my different colored bags, which I don't have many of. So I haven't been really getting much use out of this, but there was a period in time when this was pretty much the only rodeo that I ever wore. The next rodeo in size MM that I own is in Blue Zanzibar, which is this beautiful vibrant shade of blue. It's really a nice pop-up blue if you put this on a black bag or a more neutral bag. I'm trying to think. I've seen people wearing this on red and pink bags, but I'm not the biggest fan. I mainly wear this on my Birkin 35 in black, and I think I also put this on my Birkin 40 when I had it. I sold it since, but I had a Birkin 40 with palladium hardware that I also wore this on, and I absolutely loved it. And then there is one more rodeo in size MM, which is actually one that I have never worn because I'm just so protective over this. This rodeo was so difficult to find, so I actually have never worn it. But this is my So Black Rodeo, again in size MM, and I actually own every single So Black Rodeo, which means I own it in PM, GM, as well as MM, which you guys will see later on. But I also have the So Black Rodeo in size MM, which I have never worn. I have no idea what good it's doing for me in the wardrobe. I should probably take this out, but I just really cannot bring myself to it. It took me several years to find this little horsey, so it's one of my most prized possessions, and that's why I have never taken it out, but I probably should in the very near future. Before we move on to size PM and GM, there is one more rodeo that I own in size MM, which, as I mentioned, got put into storage by accident. But it's a piece that I have never worn, probably because it's my only tricolor rodeo, although it's a little bit more special because it does have a black body. It has gold hair and I believe a blue saddle. And if I can find a picture of it in my phone, I'll make sure to put it up here. But it's also a little bit more of a special rodeo just simply because of the body of the horse is black. And most of the rodeos that you can find in store tend to be a little bit more vibrant and a little bit more colorful, which is definitely not my taste. But it's a piece that I have never worn, and I guess that's how it ended up in storage. But at least it's there and I can take it out later on. And I actually noticed that there are several of them being sold online right now. I saw, I think, almost 10 of them on Fashion File at one point. So if I can still find them, I'll make sure to link them down below. Because if you're not really into the So Black look, you want something that has a little bit more of a color to it, then I highly recommend that one. Because it's a little bit more, I want to say almost serious or special looking than those really colorful and vibrant rodeos, but it still has sort of a touch of color that can be a nice touch to add to any one of your bags. Next up, let's talk about size PM, which is the smallest size. And the reason why I'm running through these so quickly is because I talked about these before. And also I have a video with mod shots exactly showing you how I style them. So if you're interested in hearing more about the different sizes, then make sure that you check out that video of mine. But the next size, which is the smallest size, is PM. And I only have 2 rodeos in size PM. Only one of them is here, which is my So Black Rodeo in size PM. I absolutely love this on my Mini Kelly. If you own a Kelly pochette or a Kelly cut or a Kelly wallet, these little PM size rodeos are absolutely adorable on those bags. And I also have a Rose Azalea rodeo in size PM, which again is in storage, but I do have a video showing that. So I'll make sure to link that also down below. I personally love the black one and I would never part ways with this. It's definitely one of my most used rodeos. Probably just as used as my Vert Cypress one, which you can tell by looking at the little strap that it comes with, which is bent because of how often I put this on my bags. But it's one that I really, really like, and I'm really glad that I have this in my collection. And last but not least, let's move on to the big boss of all rodeos, which is size GM, that I do own in the So Black version. I honestly probably wouldn't buy this in any other color, but because it was offered to me in So Black, I ended up picking it up, which I'm glad that I did because it actually looks really cool on a Birkin 35 or even a Birkin 40, if that's a bag that you prefer in terms of size. But I think I've seen this in Rose Azalea in all pink, and I have also been offered this, I believe, in Blue Zanzibar in blue. but it almost looked like a toy, like a baby's toy, so I really wasn't a fan. But I'm glad that I have this in GM, and I got a pretty good use out of this. And these are pretty much all my Rodeo bag charms. So let's move on to a different bag charm that I have in my collection, which again is one that I have never worn. I'm not the biggest fan of this, even though I have two of them because I got one for Christmas and I ended up buying one of them when it first came out. I quite like the look, but once I started seeing people wearing it, I realized how silly it looks, although it might be just me because I know a lot of people like it. And it is actually the cheapest bag charm that I have in my collection. Well, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but compared to the rest of them, this is the cheapest in terms of price. And it is the so-called Orange Bag Charm by Hermes, which I bought,
I believe last year, towards the end of the year or middle of last year. No, I think it was more towards the end of the year.
And this is obviously inspired by the orange paper shopping bag that you get when you buy something from Hermes, which I think is a cool inspiration, but the execution of this is definitely not on par with the Rodeos. I don't think it is as well made. It definitely looks a little bit like something that you would buy from like a market or something you could pick up from Etsy. But clearly people really enjoy this because it's just been launched in a new colorway. It's now available in all pink in the new Rose Mexico color. So I'll make sure to put a picture of it up here. And I guess that means that people like this and they like putting it on their bags. And I do see this a lot, but it's just not really my cup of tea. Although I probably should take it out at some point. But yeah, it is one that I have never worn, but I still wanted to share it with you in case you were wondering about this or in case you are thinking about adding this to your collection, either in orange or in the new Rose Mexico pink. It's fine, but I do wish it was a little bit more reasonably priced because I definitely do not think that it's worth over $400. I actually just had to run over to my wardrobe to get this because I completely forgot to bring this out. I don't keep this where I keep my Rodeos because it's technically a fashion jewelry piece. It's a necklace, not a bag charm. Although I would never wear this around my neck. But if you would, good for you. You're killing two birds with one stone because you can wear this as a necklace or you can put this on your bags. And the piece that I'm talking about is the Bouclerie bag charm. It's a bag accessory that I absolutely love. And every single time I wear this to an Hermes store, I get so many compliments. It, as I mentioned, is from their fashion jewelry métier. But anything that comes with a leather strap, you can easily put onto your bags. And I actually discovered this when it was displayed on a mannequin at my Hermes store. And I absolutely love the design, but I knew I would never wear this as a necklace. So I thought I could just try to wrap it around my bag. And I think I had a Birkin 35 with me at the time. And it looked amazing, so I ended up picking it up. And I just loved the hardware. It's very much inspired by their equestrian heritage. And I thought it was really cool and unique. So if you're looking to add a more personalized touch to your existing bags, then I think this is a really good way to go because there are not that many people out there who would put a necklace on their bags as an accessory. And I think this one would be a really good choice if you're not into the more ordinary bag charm like the Rodeos. And again, as I mentioned, you can wear this as a necklace. Personally, I don't think I would. It's not really my style, but you could if you wanted to. And wearing this as a bag charm doesn't really damage the leather. One day you can wear it on your bag, the next day you can easily put it around your neck if you want to. So I think it's a really fun piece to play around with. And you can obviously buy different necklaces from Hermes that you can do the same thing with. Obviously you have plenty of options when it comes to Hermes' fashion jewelry. There are many necklaces out there that come with this leather strap. I personally really like this one. This was my favorite. But I also really like the new Kelly pendant. So if you're looking to spice up your collection, then this is really a good way to do that because you're getting two in one. You're getting a necklace, a pendant, as well as a bag charm. The next piece is actually not part of my collection anymore because I bought it and then quickly returned it. I just wanted to see how it would look on my bags. And this happened many years ago. But this particular piece is still available. And it's the Hermes Motel luggage tag. I thought it would look really nice on a larger Birkin, and I did try to put it on one of my Birkins, but it looked quite weird. I just wasn't a fan because the way it attaches to your bag is that if you attach it to a Birkin, you could only see the side of the luggage tag because of the fastening. Obviously, it was designed to go on a suitcase, not a Birkin. But I just really like this kind of what would it be, like a 70s, 80s Motel aesthetic. I really liked it. And it was a really odd release from Hermes because this was one of the only pieces that had this sort of design, and I think they had a keychain, but it was kind of random. But when I saw it, I just fell in love with it and I wanted to try it on my bags. I took it home and it looked super weird, so I ended up returning it because I would never put a $700, $800, $900 luggage tag on any one of my bags. I was meant to say suitcase. Obviously, I would put it on a bag of mine if it looked good, but I would never spend so much money on something that goes on a suitcase. And the grand finale of this video is the newest addition to my Hermes collection, which I personally don't necessarily consider a bag charm, but I know many people do. But to me, the design and the craftsmanship is so much more elevated than it would be on a simple bag charm. And maybe it's just me trying to justify the price, because if it's only a bag charm, I really cannot justify how much it costs. But I am working on playing around with this and coming up with ways on how I can style this as an actual bag. And if that's something you would want to see, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. But the last bag charm that I want to show you guys is my Mini Kelly bag, which is the so-called Mini Kelly Twilly or Micro Kelly Twilly, which is a piece that I showed in a recent unboxing, and I got so many people saying that they absolutely love it and they're impressed by the craftsmanship, but they would never spend this much money on it, which I totally get. And I am definitely coming up with different ways on how I can wear this, how I can style this to make it worth my money. But it's a piece that I think is part of Hermes history, and you can never know when these pieces come back around. They definitely will, because Hermes tends to bring back really popular things. But if you really think about it, if you get offered one of these bags, it might be a once in a lifetime opportunity. For example, quite a few years ago, Hermes had a Birkin 15 and a Kelly 15, which I think would be the coolest bag to wear nowadays, with mini bags being the biggest trend. And while that bag was extremely popular at the time and it sold out, Hermes never brought it back, even though it could be the biggest cash grab for them, because they obviously have the pattern available, and with everyone wanting smaller and smaller bags, it would literally sell in a heartbeat. Not that other things that Hermes comes out with don't sell, but that would be the biggest craze if Hermes brought those bags back. And if I can find some pictures of them, I'll put them up here. And they are definitely small, obviously not as small as this, but they are pieces that were available at the time and they've never been relaunched or re-released. So I thought that if that's my only opportunity to add this piece of Hermes history to my collection, I definitely will. And I'm really, really happy that I did, because I have already found a couple of ways on how I can style this as more of a bag or more of an accessory. And I'm really excited to explore more of those. In case you want to look at this as a bag charm, I thought I would include it here. But it's a piece that's so beautifully made, and if you're familiar with the craftsmanship of the Kelly bag, then you know how beautifully they are created. And I'm just really impressed by how much thought and effort has gone into the making of this tiny little bag. And this is it, guys. This completes my video on all my Hermes bag charms. I really hope that the audio quality, the lighting, and the angle were not too annoying, because as I mentioned, I still don't have my ring light and my tripod. Not that my equipment is ever that professional. And I will be filming my luxury Q&A later on this week. So if you have any luxury questions to me about my luxury journey or yours, then make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. And I'll try to address as many of them in that video as I can. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.